Positive short-term impacts on Guam. When the U.S. first took over Guam from the Spanish, the people native to Guam were not happy. They even wrote a petition to try to become led independently. Guam was unhappy because they saw the Spanish as more sophisticated and would treat them better, although America was able to help the natives in big ways. America had introduced formalization of Guam's educational system in 1922. Following this introduction, Guam was now seen as a much more organized educational system than ever before. Modern health care had been brought to Guam with the establishment of free public hospital, and the natives also received regular instruction in school and newspapers on how to continue to clean themselves up. This shows that America did care about the citizens of Guam and how America was able to have a positive impact after the tough beginning. The Navy's interest in building up Guam's infrastructure also resulted in significant improvements in Guam's utilities. Coconut oil street lamps were replaced with electric ones, and Guam's sewage and water systems, at least in their large villages, were all vastly improved. The island's traditional transportation system, made up of numerous bull cart trails, and slowly been paved over. By 1941, Guam boasted 85 miles of limestone roads and one asphalt road that connected the two main cities together. These improvements were all made primarily for the naval government's need, but the natives benefited from it as well. Although the naval government of Guam was not very large or energetic, it was much more active than the Spanish government had been. The Navy provided the opportunity for middle-class natives to work and be taken care of. The natives that retired from the military and the natives working for the civil service did not make enough money to become rich in Guam, but were able to start a small business and live very comfortably. After these improvements to Guam, many of the natives were now on board with the U.S. ways and were willing to do whatever the U.S. asked to become able to follow in the U.S.'s example. Positive long-term effects on Guam. Today, Guam is still a U.S. territory, and one-third of Guam is taken up by the U.S. military. This shows that because the U.S. placed a naval base in Guam very soon after they captured it, Guam was able to maintain that military presence, and now the military is a big part of Guam. Another positive long-term impact is also the location of Guam. Because of Guam's location, the U.S. uses and will continue to use Guam as a great way to stay close to Asia in case of conflict. An example of the U.S. using Guam was during the Vietnam War. The U.S. sent bomber planes to Guam until they were able to be sent to Southeast Asia. This shows that Guam's location is great for U.S. if they quickly need to reach Asia in case of another war breaks out. This editorial cartoon shows the positive impacts the U.S. had on Guam. The cartoon shows Uncle Sam standing on a block titled Advancement. This is used to show that the United States is becoming more advanced by imperializing Guam. Also, the cartoon shows a man that looks much younger than Uncle Sam, also standing on blocks. The reason the man looks much younger is to symbolize that Guam is just learning to become civilized, and eventually he will grow to become much more older and advanced. The young man is standing on blocks that say hospitals, education, and waterworks systems. This is placed to show that the man is getting taller and older by adding these necessities. Therefore, Guam is getting better because of these additions. Also, below the two people it reads, "More like his dad every day." This represents that the United States is seen as Guam's father and someone they can look up to and want to be. This editorial cartoon is more present to this time period, and it is used to show how Guam affects other countries' actions. This cartoon shows North Korean leader Kim Jong-un holding a map of Guam and saying, "Never mind." This is to show how powerful the United States has made Guam, and that Kim Jong-un decides to hold back on sending missiles because of how powerful Guam's military is. This shows a positive long-term effect because it shows how Guam is used today as a warning for countries in Asia that the U.S. is not as far away as they might think. As you probably have already figured out, Guam is still currently a U.S. territory, and its location is still used today to be able to interact with Asia and other places in the Pacific.